Hey everybody, we're back now. We are stuck in traffic um, here and there. It's bad areas over here, and coming back from Louisiana, it's like been at standstill traffic sometimes, and the reception is kind of garbage at times. So, anyway, on my last video, I finished. We were talking about Alabama, basically stepping all over Utah State 55-10, doing what Alabama does. You know, I said last on my last video, Nick Saban's pissed off. Jimbo's been talking too much trash to him over there in College Station, so he's trying to make a point this year. Um, they still them and Georgia still look like the best football team in America. Um, you know, Ohio State. Ohio State game. That was an amazing game too. I told everybody about Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. He was the best hire. His defense came to play. Um, Ohio State's offense, I was expecting them to put up 4 or 5 touchdowns. Um, Notre Dame really shut them down, especially in the first half. Notre Dame's going to be all right. If you're a Notre Dame fan, y'all got the right coach. It's just going to take him a minute to build some more around. He lost some stuff last year, some guys, so was impressed with both of them. They played good football. Um, Arkansas, I can't leave Arkansas out. A couple of my old friends there from the Department of Corrections is Arkansas fans, so I predicted them to beat Cincinnati. It's exactly what they did. Um, got to win. Everybody needs to look out for them this year in the SEC. Arkansas is going to probably upset some people. Um, it's one of them teams I pick as an upset pick a lot. And I think that what they're doing there, Sam Pittman's the coach. What he's done since he's been there has been pretty amazing. That program is I want to say they went 1 or 2 and 8, 2 and 9. I don't know, something crazy. The year before he got there, and he's already building it back to something that's respectable anyway. So congratulations to them for sure. Um, so the biggest winner of week one, and it takes probably all I have to admit this. Because it's against everything that I believe and how I was raised since I was a child. But Florida, the Florida Gators, is probably the biggest winner of week one, in my opinion. Uh, Billy Napier took over that job from Dan Mullen, who they fired last year. Um, Dude looks like extra from the movie The Water Boy. If you, oh, hey, we're back. Sorry, we're going through this dang bad areas. My phone, I'm doing this on my phone, so it's showing 5 bars, but who knows technology these days. But what I was saying a minute ago was Florida is probably the winner of the week. Um, the biggest winner anyway. Uh, I was talking about their coach looking like an extra on the Water Boy. Um, But that dude's coming there and he's made a name for himself. He's the first Florida coach in history, like the history of their program, to win an opening game against a ranked opponent, a top 10 ranked opponent. Um, it shocked me. I picked Utah to win in a close game, like they were going to pull away at the end. I think that's kind of what I discussed in my last video. But Florida out Utah, if that makes sense. Utah is very physical. They wear you down. They beat you on the line of scrimmage, and then in the fourth quarter they run and just keep pounding the ball away. Their quarterback last year, the Cam Rising kid, he's back this year. He just didn't look like the same person late in that game. The crowd was definitely effective. That place is a crazy environment at night. It was packed, and Florida fans are they're wild and they're dedicated, and they show up, and that's part of the reason why they won that game. Utah had a chance there at the end. Florida made a huge play on defense, but I was impressed. I was very impressed with Florida. Anthony Richardson. I said in my last video, people doubt that dude. The kid has got NFL size arm strength, and he's hard to bring to the ground. And it's making me sick because he's looking like Tim Tebow Jr. Now there's a lot of people out there throwing that out already, which that's kind of crazy. Like, let's bring it back down to reality. He's not Tim Tebow yet, but he's got potential, man. He's going to give a lot of people problems if he stays healthy. Um, and again, I think they're the biggest winner in week one. Now, I'm going to stick to my prediction I had for them. I think they're going to win 8 or 9 games, maybe 7, 8, 9, probably closer to 8 or 9. Now that I've seen Richardson play, if he stays healthy, um, they got a brutal schedule. They play they play in the best conference in America. I mean, let's keep it real. They're going to play the LSU. They're going to play Georgia. Um, I don't think that they're ready to do that with Georgia yet, obviously, but they're getting there, man. And if you give that dude a couple years, it's probably going to have that place competing again for SEC championship and who knows what else. So, again, that made me sick to my stomach to say that Florida was was a surprise of the weekend, the winner of the weekend. But I keep it real. I try to keep it real in these videos. Um, Gary Swanson is like a buddy of mine who gives me a hard time about Florida State. I give him a hard time about Florida, but I text him and I told him that, hey, y'all look good. So congratulations to all you Gator fans for that. Um, Everybody knows in my last video, I made a dumb bet where I got to wear some Gator colors to work tomorrow. So got to get home tonight and get that suit ready and all them my orange. So I know everybody I work with is looking forward to that. Probably take a lot of pictures. So I'll probably post it on Facebook for everybody. Um, but anyway, Florida, I hate y'all, but y'all look good. Um, Other thing to talk about, the Pac-12. Oh my God, like the Pac-12's dead. Um, they're dead. Uh, Teams look terrible. Come on. All right. Anyhow, sorry for the pause there, but talking about the Pac-12. The Pac-12, man, they're terrible. Oregon looked awful. USC, uh, they had a big win with Lincoln Riley as their new coach. So, he's going to build something there, but they're jetting over to the Big Ten here, 2024, I believe. Um, so the Pac-12's just they're done for. I think the ACC, we're stuck in the ACC right now, which um, I brought up a little bit on my last video, and I'll talk about that on another time. But man, these conferences and what's going on with the realignment and stuff, the Pac-12's just the poor Pac-12 is they're not even a football conference anymore before this thing's going to be over with. So, and their teams didn't perform well Saturday. Um, so for my top 10, I do this every week. I usually do a top five, what I think is the top five after each week. But after week one, I did a top 10. Um, you know, Number one, and just to let you know how I do the top 10 you Alabama fans, try to come to my house and drag me outside and beat me with a stick or something. I base it off of your performance each week, who you play, uh, and I kind of adjust it from there. So I can already hear the Alabama fans blowing up my messenger like, "You're crazy, Alabama, blah blah." Yes, Alabama's still probably the best football team in America. Them in Georgia, they look pretty good, but I'm giving Georgia the number one spot after week one. You know, they beat a ranked opponent in Oregon and dominated them. It wasn't even close. I'm going to have Georgia at number one. Alabama, number two. They took care of business 55-10 over Utah State. It's Utah State. You know, it's not a huge program, not a big, competition, but they did what they were supposed to do. They probably could have scored 100 on them if they wanted to. Um, Nick Saban, I can promise you, they put up 55. Nick Saban was probably yelling at them after the game for you know, who knows? He's never happy, but that's why he's successful. I think it's kind of funny to watch him. But Alabama dominated their competition. Um, Number three, Ohio State. I still got Ohio State at number three. That was a big win over Notre Dame. I don't think they looked um, great offensively. They were a little sluggish, but that's normal in week one. You'll probably see a big improvement in week two. That's a powerful offense that they got, and I think we'll see it the next couple of weeks. Um, Number four is Michigan. Michigan dominated 51-7 over Colorado State. Jim Harbaugh, like he has these moments like throughout every year, like where he wins a stretch of games, and you're like, wow, like Michigan is finally back to Michigan, like of old. And then he always has some craziness where they lose to somebody they ain't supposed to, or whatever. And that may happen again. But this past weekend, he was dominant. His team looked good. They're going to hold down the number four spot. Um, Number five's Oklahoma. Another coaching debut. Clemson's old defense coordinator, Brent Venables, is the new coach at Oklahoma. They took care of business. Uh, they put a beating on. Hey, we had another break in the action there. We're talking about Oklahoma. Oklahoma took care of business. UTEP, they beat them down. Really nothing to watch there, but got them at number five. Uh, Clemson and Old Dabo, they play tonight on ESPN, I think. Could be ABC. They're the prime time game tonight. Um, they're playing Georgia Tech. I don't expect it to be a close game. Um, Interested to see how Clemson's going to look. Last year they struggled quite a bit because of their quarterback just didn't play well. Offensive line was a problem last year for them. Um, but there's still Clemson. He's still got talent there. Dabo's got talent. He lost his coaching. He lost his defense coordinator at Oklahoma. He lost another co-offense coordinator, went to a head coaching job. So there's a lot of turnover in coaches. It reminds me a lot of Florida State back in the day. Bobby Bowden, he started losing all his assistant coaches because they were so successful as a program. And when you do that, it impacts things quite a bit. Bobby Bowden was always one of them dudes that let his people do their job. He kind of stood back and was more or less the CEO of the program. Now, of course, obviously, I'm sure he called some plays and voiced his opinion about things. And at the end of the day, he was going to do what he wanted to do. But he let his people do their job, and they were very successful. 14 years straight in the top five. So that recipe works, but Dabo's lost his coaching staff, some key members. So it's interesting to see what he's going to do at Clemson. They still got talent. So we're going to see what they got tonight when they play Georgia Tech. Again, it's not going to be much of competition for them. Um, but, um, we'll see what happens. Um, I see, hey, Kenneth Brantley, I see you just came on here. You missed it earlier. I was giving you mad love with the Florida Gators being the winner of the weekend, the biggest winner of the weekend. You'll have to go back and watch that. It almost made me sick. Hope you're doing all right, man. Hadn't talked to you in a while. Um, so that was Clemson. They were my number six after week one. Of course, they play tonight again. Texas A&M's number seven, 31-0 over Sam Houston. I mean, it's pretty much like playing J High School, but um, Cedra, what's going on, man? You just missed it too. I was giving y'all some mad love. Florida's the big winner of the week for me. You can go back and listen to it. I was telling another buddy of mine that's a Gator fan. It made me kind of sick to talk about it, but you guys definitely were the biggest winner of week one. Um, Go back and listen to it at the beginning of the video. But Texas A&M, number 7 after week one. Number 8, I'm giving it to Florida. Number 8, they're going to be in my 8th spot after week one. Um, Very, like I said earlier in this video, very impressive victory, man, over Utah. They out Utah. Like I said, they out physical them late in the game, and that's what Utah lived off of. You know, wearing people down in the fourth quarter and just out physical. Um, you know, yes, Ed, I appreciate it. He looked good, man. He surprised me. I've been really hard on that guy, and he really came through last night. So hopefully he'll keep progressing in his passing game and stuff like that. But I was very impressed with him. Also, I appreciate that. Um, yeah, Brantley, y'all do have a quarterback. If you listen to my video, like I said earlier, I kind of talked about him a little bit, but man, he's making me think of bad things like Tebow. Uh, he's I knew he could do it. He's got the size and all the attributes for it. But he looks like y'all finally got Napier. He's bought into him. He trusts him. Y'all's coach said something after the game that really stuck with me. He said it was about trust. I don't think everybody trusted Dan Mullen, and I think Napier's got these kids trusting in him. So um, it's gonna be good. I think y'all are gonna. He's gonna get things going there in the next 2 years for sure. But again, Florida is my number 8 pick, and the round out the top 10 got Baylor, who beat a high school team, Albany, 69-10. Ain't much to talk about there, and Oklahoma State. They beat up on Central Michigan, pretty decent. But man, what an amazing weekend of college football. Um, you know, sorry for the in and out. Like I said, we're driving back home from Louisiana. I posted a video and then I had to do this one, the second one, but go back and listen to it. A lot of insight on each team and stuff like that. And um, let me know if there's something you want me to talk about. I'm just kind of doing this for fun. I enjoy talking about college football. So, if you want me to talk about something, let me know. And, man, I hope y'all have a great weekend. I love all you guys. Appreciate you. If you need anything from me, holler at me. And I hope y'all enjoy your Labor Day. Go Knowles.